Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Echoes of Elsewhere, and welcome to the first official episode of Beyond the Abandoned, where we dig a little deeper into the stories that haunt the explorers themselves. Today's guest is someone whose name might ring a bell to longtime listeners, Rose Urbex. She's not only an incredible urban explorer, but also someone who leans into the unknown, the energy, the echoes, and everything that might linger beyond the walls. Some of this conversation might sound familiar, and that's because Rose was actually featured way back in the early days of this podcast. That episode has since been taken down. A little bit of behind the scenes drama tends to happen sometimes. But I always knew that Rose's story deserved its own space. So today we are revisiting that conversation in a new light, giving it the space, depth, and energy it should have had all along. This is Beyond the Abandoned with Rose Urbex.
Made notes too, so I could.
Oh, yay. Okay, good.
Stay on track.
Prepared. Do we both have ADHD?
I'm the queen.
Your face said enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's start with the first question. What first drew you to explore abandoned places, and when did the paranormal become a part of that?
I think what first drew me in was just the beauty in decay. Like the way nature just reclaims what humanity has left behind, and there's something very spiritual to me about it. Like the more time that I've spent exploring, the more I realize that these places all have just this energy of their own,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the paranormal side kind of just found me on its own, if that makes sense.
Really? So you've had paranormal experiences before you started exploring?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When was your first paranormal experience?
So I'm going to get real deep here because I don't tell this story to many people because they probably would be like, she's nuts, But the correlation throughout my life from this certain experience too that has just stayed with me. So when I was 13, I used to babysit twin girls. And at the time, they were 8 years old. I was 13. Their mom, she and my mom worked together at a news telegraph together. So I would babysit, and we lived in North Georgia in the mountains. At this time, it was winter, and they lived in one of those big A-frame cabins where, like, the windows go from the floor to the ceiling, and the big open floor plan where your kitchen, dining room, and living room are all one big room, and it was all, like, wood paneling and hardwood floors inside, too. So I would get there at like 7 or 6:30, 7. It would be food, bath time, and bed by 8. And then the whole rest of the time I was just hanging out until the parents got home. So I had put the kids to sleep and I was sitting on the couch. And when you're sitting on the couch watching TV, behind the TV is the staircase that goes upstairs. And it was all railing, but no walls. So you could see the whole staircase and the whole hallway upstairs. And then upstairs you had a bedroom on your right and a bathroom and a bedroom on the left. So I'm watching TV, and I just remember it being really, really, really dark. And just having kind of like an uneasy feeling. But I also remember looking through the downstairs doorway and seeing the kids' door and being like, I feel like I need to go check on them, but I can't get off the couch. But it was so dark that, like, putting my arm out in front of me, I could, like, barely see my hand. And all I could really see is, like, the glow from the TV being on in front of me. But it was hard to see, and it was super dark. And the next thing I know, there's a light that comes on in the upstairs right bedroom that is, I see it out of my peripheral, and it's like this little ball of light that manifests into a full apparition of a woman, a lady who was in all white. She was wearing a hooded cloak, and it was very ethereal. Like, I felt like I was in another dimension or something. Like, time wasn't a thing almost. And she comes out of the bedroom and she goes across the hallway like super slow, like this, right? Like, she's like super slow going across. And her cloak, it looks like wind is blowing. Like, it's like floating slowly up and down in the air behind her.
Oh, hell no.
And I could see, I knew it was a woman. I couldn't see her face because she had on the hood, but I could see her figure in the form of a woman. And she goes all the way across the hallway, and she goes into the left bedroom, and she disappeared. And when she disappeared, there was like this huge surge of energy throughout the whole house. It was like a whoom. And like all of the lights came on. It was like warm lighting, dim, like it was like I could.
Ooh, I got chills.
I do. Every time I tell this story, I get chills.
Oh.
And so, yeah. So then the next thing I know, the parents are I see their headlights pulling up in the driveway.
Did you tell them?
So I'm glued to the couch still, and I'm freaking out a little inside, but I don't know what is going on, what just happened. And they walk in the house and they looked at me and they were like, "You look like you saw a ghost. Are you okay?" And I looked at them and I was like, "I think I saw a ghost." And they looked at each other. I kid you not. They looked at each other and they say, "She saw the lady in white."
Oh no, so they've seen
I
this
was
thing
like,
before.
"The lady in who? What are you talking about? Like, what?" And they were like, "Yeah, we just think she's a guardian angel and she watches over our house and yada, yada, yada."
Oh no, no, no. I would be moving out.
So this was so pivotal for me.
Wait, did you go over there and babysit again?
No, 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 no.
You quit that job.
I definitely did. Never went back to that house. I think that's one of the questions that you sent was like, is there something that keeps you from, or that kept you from going back to a place? I wasn't exploring, but I never went back to that house.
Never.
So, and it's crazy because,
Did you tell your mom?
yeah,
Did she ever go into that house?
she's had been there before. I don't know if she ever went again or not. Like, they were
She was probably like, I'm not risking that.
but so then, like, fast forward. Also, this sticks with me my entire life, and that was just the beginning of paranormal stuff. Because after that, I had other encounters
Oh no.
and other things.
Let's just open the door.
Yeah, I think that this was just like, yeah. But then, fast forward, I'm grown now, and I had seen the kids and their mom like throughout town, around, at the grocery store throughout the years, kept up with them and everything, but we had never like spent one-on-one time together again like that or anything. So fast forward, I'm doing hair, and the mom reaches out to me because one of the girls are grown now and one of them was getting married. And she was like, "Hey, can you do our hair and makeup for the wedding?" And I was like, "Sure." So they came to the salon and I was doing their hair. And of course, the whole time this is on my mind because I still have like
Yes.
a lot of unresolved issues surrounding. So I asked her about it, and she was weird. Now, also, mind you, her husband that she was with back then, they had since been divorced, and
Okay.
after their divorce, long time after their divorce, he had offed himself. And then she had remarried to a pastor and became very
Religious.
religious and all of that. Yeah.
Mm.
So, completely opposite of what she used to be. Like,
Okay.
way opposite. She was this hippie chick who was free spirited, who she was a punk rocker back in the day when she was in the 80s, like the safety pins in your ear and stuff like that. So she really did a complete turnaround. So when I asked her about this, she was weird about it. And she was like, look, I'll answer any questions that you have, but I don't want to feed this any more energy. Like, so-and-so is getting ready to move back into that house, and I just don't want to feed it any energy. And just, what do you need to ask me,
Mm-hmm.
I felt weird. I felt like I was crossing a line, and I didn't understand, like, if it was an angel, why do you have this, like, demeanor about you? Why?
Yeah.
And you think it's a guardian angel, then why are you like this? And so really I didn't ask too many questions because I felt like I was walking on eggshells, like,
Mm-hmm.
pissed. She didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
The things that she did say was that she had never seen her in real life, but she came to her in dreams.
That's even more weird.
Mm-hmm. And then she said that her husband back then, he had seen her in person, like seen her full apparition in person. And then she said that the kids, they were really young. And meanwhile, one of the girls is sitting in the chair while we're having this conversation, and she's looking at her mom like, you never told me this. What? We had a ghost? Like, what are you talking about?
Oh shit, so they don't even remember anything
They don't
about
even
this.
remember nothing. So then I could tell she didn't, like maybe didn't want the kids to know that.
I see. Yeah.
But she said also that the kids would have dreams about a lady in all white too.
What in the hell? That is so
Which
weird.
kids, they could be experiencing something very paranormal and not really be asleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
But the,
Or they could convince themselves that they're sleeping because it doesn't make sense to them otherwise.
so I kind of left it at that, and then fast forward some.
What? Okay, but my thing is, why would she reach out to you specifically for you to do their hair, knowing the last time that y'all really spent any quality time together was when you had an effing ghost encounter? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? She really didn't expect you to ever bring this shit up ever again.
I think she tried to sweep that whole situation under the rug.
You were 13. Maybe she was hopeful you forgot or something. Like,
Yeah, maybe.
since her kids forgot.
Yeah. And we never talked about it again after that night. Like, I would see them around town. My mom was still friends with her. I would still see them and be around them some, but I just didn't babysit anymore, and I didn't go over there like that.
Bro, I would have been looking up like history of the house, but then I don't know. It seems kind of like
No,
it might be attached to them.
I'm to sum everything up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. So, fast forward some more years. Now I'm like grown. I'm in my 30s, and I have my very first tarot reading done. I think I was like, yeah, I think I was 30 whenever this happened. And also 13 and 30, pivotal, very, very pivotal times of people's lives. And
Mm-hmm.
there's just something about 3 as well.
Yeah.
Number 3. Anyway, so I have my first tarot reading. When I went to have the tarot reading done, I was getting out of a really shitty, tumultuous, toxic relationship of craziness, and I was like exiting that out of my life, and then I was stepping into something new with Dexter. So I had met Dex, but we weren't serious yet. So I think this is right when we first met. And so I go in, and she had this set of cards out that she was going to use, and then she randomly changed her mind and was like, no, I'm not going to use these cards. And she went and grabbed another deck of cards that were angel cards. And so she was like, something's just telling me these are the ones that we need to use. So she's putting the cards down. She's like, you're getting out of this crazy situation. This negative stuff is exiting your life. You're transitioning into something new. And then the next card she flips over is literally a knight in shining armor on a white horse, and he's got a gold sword, and the sun is shining on him, and there's rainbows behind him. Just like the most beautiful card. And she's like, this person is coming into your life right now. And this is your person. Like, this is your forever person. Like, this is who this is. And I was like, what? You know, like, huh? I feel like, I tell Dex all the time, I feel like I manifested him.
I love feeling like that, though.
Yeah.
That's the best.
And then the other card she flipped was like an angel, a lady in all white who was an angel. And she was like, this is a card meaning that spiritually you are divinely protected, and you have guardian angels, and you have one specifically who watches over you, and you just need to know that whatever you do in this life, you're going to do amazing things, and that you are divinely protected no matter what. So I was like, oh, okay. And then that brought up the memory of being 13 and seeing this angel lady. And I asked about it. And she was like, she knew what her name was, what the angel's name was. And she knew what I was talking about. Like when I said something happened to me when I was 13. And she flips over a card, and then she just like psychically knew. And then she's like, you have a guardian angel. This is her name. She watches over you. She's all.
Holy moly.
And I was like, holy crap. Okay. So that's another little thing that happened. And then fast forward some more years. Now I'm in Atlanta. I'm doing hair. This isn't that many. This was like maybe 3-4 years ago, when I finally put all of these pieces together and got closure on this whole situation. I'm doing hair. This lady who we were friends on Facebook, but we had never met before in person. And we had a bunch of mutual friends. And all I knew about her was that she was a hairstylist too. So she reached out to me, which I did not know at the time. Her best friend is the lady who gave me my tarot reading.
Oh, shit.
And I had no idea about it.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I had no idea. So she reaches out to me and she's like, hey, I haven't had my hair professionally done in a long time. I would really love to come to your salon. And so I booked her, and she drove all the way from North Georgia, 2 hours to Atlanta to come see me. And she sits in my chair, and this is also after my dog passed away, who was the love of my life. I had him for 10 years, and he's still like the background on my phone. Just the other day, somebody was like, oh, that's a pretty dog. I love your dog. I was like, thanks.
Oh, that's sweet.
But his name was Finch. After he passed away, I would hear his nails clipping on the floor every single morning coming to my bedroom door. Like it's time to go out at 7 a.m. It happened every single day after he passed away. I would be in the kitchen cooking, and I would feel his cold, wet nose go up the back of my leg, or I would like see him in my peripheral chilling in the house. Like he's still there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Next, I'm like, am I going nuts? Like, am I going crazy? What's wrong? Like, am I mourning my dog that, like, just thinking this, or like what, you know? So it was just weird, and I wasn't having a good time with the fact that I lost him. So she comes in, and this was on a Saturday, and I'm usually completely booked up back to back to back on Saturdays. And this was just a random Saturday, and that I only had her this day. And so I didn't have anybody else. So that was another weird thing. So she sits in my chair, and what was supposed to be a 2-hour service wound up being more like 5 hours, because
Oh my god.
she sits down. Before we could even get started, she stops and she looks at me and she's like, do you know who I am or what I do? And I was like, you're a hairstylist? Like, I don't know. And she was like, yeah. She was like, but I'm a lot more than that. And I was like, okay. And she was like, so I'm a psychic medium. I do Reiki. I am a shaman. I am an ordained minister. She was like, my husband calls me Snow White because I can talk to animals. At first, I'm like thinking, okay, this is on some woo woo stuff, but I'm about. So then she says, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you have a dog coming through on your right side so strong right now that it's stopping me dead in my tracks. She says, I keep seeing the color gray. What's the significance? He's showing me the color gray. Like, what is the significance of that? And I'm thinking, like, I don't know. I said, I have gray floors in my house, and I have a gray couch in my house, and I don't know. And she was like, as soon as I said gray couch, she slammed her hand down and she was like, he doesn't want you to get rid of his bed. And I start pouring tears.
Oh no.
When he passed away in August, and this was November when this happened.
Okay.
So ever since he passed away, me and Dex would ask each other, should we get rid of this stuff, you know? And we just didn't answer each other. It would just stay where it was. And then we would just go about our business and not even the question, you know?
Yeah.
And so his bed stayed in its place. His toy box stayed in its place. His bowl stayed in its place until we moved out of that apartment. And so when she said he doesn't want you to get rid of his bed, that just was like, that's confirmation right there. Like, it was just weird, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, also, he's telling me the next dog that you get is going to be gray. And we don't have a dog yet, but we know, and we were already looking at the blue nose pit bulls. And so I was like, I just knew that that's going to be what I get next. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that that's what I'm going to get next.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the other thing. She said that she kept smelling sage. And she was like, why do I keep smelling sage? Like, he's telling me, he's bringing this up. So Finch got pancreatitis. And then when they were doing x-rays to find out about what was wrong with him, they also found a massive tumor on his spleen.
Oh no.
And it was like so big that it was pushing on other organs.
I see.
And so it was like we got the pancreatitis at bay, and then it was just a waiting game to see what would happen after that.
Right.
The vet was really informative and gave me all the different scenarios of things that could happen. So if they went out to potty and they just didn't come back, sometimes that happens because they've collapsed because their spleen is ruptured.
I see.
If their spleen ruptures, they instantly pass away.
Yeah.
And then the other scenario would be that they would get like a slow bleed. So he could get a slow bleed and become very lethargic. His gums would turn very pale pink or white, and his belly would be hard. And that is pretty much what happened. So he was fine. 3 days before he passed away, I took him for a hike in North Georgia, and he was running through the fields, jumping in and out of the rivers, playing with the other dogs. I have videos from that day, and you would look at him and completely healthy and strong and beautiful, and he's just like living it up that day.
Yeah.
And something was telling me I needed to go do that with him.
Yeah.
So when he passed away, we went out that morning to use the potty, and he was having a hard time trying to go. And when he came back, he had a weird breath.
Uh-huh.
And we came back inside, and normally he would like eat his food and then go lay down before I even walked out the door. So he took 2 sips of water, and then he laid down in the floor, and he wouldn't get back up. So I had to pick him up, and I put some blankets in the dryer to make him really warm, and I put him in his bed, and I made him all comfy and cozy. And I called my mom, and I called the vet, and I said, you guys both need to get here. So I had an in-home euthanasia for him, which I'm so thankful for. When he got sick, I started a GoFundMe, and I raised enough money to take care of all of the vet bills, all of the medicines. He had to stay in the hospital for days. Like,
Oh no.
when he had the pancreatitis. So
Yeah.
then I still had money left over from it, and it was the right exact amount to take care of the in-home euthanasia and then him being cremated by himself, because that's more expensive.
Right. Yeah.
So I was so blessed to have that happen.
That's so nice. Yeah.
So when the vet was here, my mom was here, it was definitely time. And I lit sage while it was happening, and I had sage burning. Just, that is such a minute detail that I didn't tell anybody. Like, the only people that were there were me, my mom, and the vet. Like, nobody would know that.
Yeah.
So it rung a bell, and I was like, well,
Of course.
I was burning sage while he was transitioning. And she was like, that's it. She was like, he wants you to know that when you did that, it really helped him get to where he needed to go.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting.
And he's like basically saying thank you for that. And then I asked stuff about like, cause you never know, like, I don't want to cry, but not yet, not yet. Take a deep breath. So, you always have that feeling, like, did you do the right thing or not? I know that I did do the right thing, but there's always that like feeling of like, was it really time? So I was like, how was he feeling when he was transitioning, Oh my God, this is crazy.
You're doing it to me too, so it's okay.
These are okay tears too, but I'm still.
We're just healing around here.
So she said that the only thing, he was clueless. She was like, he didn't understand why he had so many ladies around him loving on him. He was like, I have these warm blankets, I have all these people around me loving on me. Like, that's all he knew. And that made me feel really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyway, that whole thing happened. And then she also then went on to tell me things about my health, things that people didn't know, things that only my close people knew. I told you guys this is going to get deep. So, at 30, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, and it was a very aggressive cancer. So, I had to do chemo, radiation, lost all my hair. This is also like when I was on chemo and everything, when I was bald headed and everything, that's when I met Dex and when he came into my life also.
Oh, wow.
So,
how did y'all meet?
Tinder!
Props to Tinder for something good.
Yeah, it's like, it never worked before, but it worked with him. And it was so easy. It was like, we met on there, we had like 1 or 2 conversations, and then it was like, hey, we figured out that we had, our birthdays were right next to each other. So his is September 10th and mine's the 16th. And so he randomly hit me up right before his birthday, and he was like, you want to go get some birthday drinks? And I was like, sure. And it was just like boom, boom, boom from there. And in like the middle time frame of like, I had to do 4 different chemos, and I had to do a lot of them. So I think it was like 18 rounds total.
Holy crap.
And so I was kind of in the middle where I got to take 2 of the chemos off and stop taking those 2 and only do the last 2. But at the first part, I was doing all 4 at the same time.
Holy crap.
So I would be like, and it was once every 3 weeks. So I would be at the chemo center from 8 or 7 in the morning until probably 8 o'clock at night.
Holy crap.
That whole time I would be on chemo. Yeah. It was intense. So
did you get really sick and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. But I had a great community around me. I had a great support system. I'm very fortunate that I also, because of the breast cancer that I had, I qualified for Medicaid. and it was a women's health care Medicaid, and you had to have certain types of cancer or issues to be able to be qualified for it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it helped me tremendously, because without that, I don't think that I would have been able to do what I did, and
Right.
have I'm with Emory, and I have a great oncologist and a great team, and I saw 8 different oncologists before the one that I chose. So
Was that before you started treatment at all?
I,
Yeah.
I
Why is that you just decided that
well,
was like,
everybody was like, you have to chop your boobs off. You're going straight to surgery and getting both of your boobs chopped off. And I'm like, I'm 30 years old. I don't know if I want to do that right now, And
yeah.
I haven't had kids. And if I have kids, I would like to be able to nurse if I could,
Hmm.
So it was just like, I don't believe you, there's got to be other options, other ways to do this. And then I also had one doctor, an oncologist, be like, I'm Western medicine only, and yada yada. And I turned around and walked out. I just turned around and left, because, like, if you're going to have that kind of attitude and you're going to talk to me that way and not be open to any of my viewpoints, then I don't trust you with my life. So,
No. Oh my God. It's your body anyway. Like, what the fuck?
goodbye.
Yeah.
So then I finally found my oncologist with Emory. His name is Dr. Tadapalli, and he knows all about Ayurvedic medicine. He knows all about that side of stuff, and then he's also a professor, and he's an oncologist. And it was like night and day when I met him compared to the other oncologists that I had met. I was very impressed by him, and I was very thankful that I had other options,
Yeah.
because he gave me options, and that's what I needed.
Yeah.
So I went with them. Anyway, so when I met Dex, I was kind of in the middle. I was starting to feel better, basically. When I first found out that I had cancer, I purged and I got rid of any negative thing that was in my life, whether it was a person, whether it was a habit, whether it was anything. Like, I had to,
Hmm.
like, get rid of it. If it wasn't affecting me positively, then I didn't have time for it.
Yeah.
Um
I don't blame you.
so yeah, I had to focus on trying to live. So I was kind of coming out of this, like, where I was feeling better. I was having more life to myself, and I wasn't looking for anything serious. I really just wanted somebody. It was September when I met him, so it's like fall, and I wanted to go to the fair, and I wanted to have, like, I wanted to go have somebody to,
You just wanted to go on dates.
yeah, like, nothing serious, nothing like that. But it just kind of, it turned into that. We went on our first date, and then it was just boom, boom, boom from there. And I've always told him, if we ever broke up, that I could never hate him,
Hmm.
just because of the amount of good that he's done for me in our relationship.
Yeah.
There's no way that I would ever expect a really hot single bachelor dude to jump in to a relationship with a woman who has cancer and is going through that, And I
Yeah.
put that on somebody.
Yeah.
So, the way that he stepped in, and he met all of my doctors. He took me to all my rest of my chemos. Like, he went with me and my mom to doctor's appointments.
Mm,
He took me to every single one of my radiation appointments, and I had to go every single day for 9 weeks straight, except for Saturday and Sunday.
holy crap.
And he took me to every single one of them. And he was there when I rang the bell. Yeah. So I could never, ever, ever, I don't care what would happen, I could never hate him.
I don't think you have to worry about
I
that though, Rose.
don't care. It's just me saying how grateful I am. He's
Of course, yeah, and he is. You can just tell that he's a good guy.
sweet. Don't
And you're so
tell him.
sweet. So y'all are perfect. Y'all are a perfect
He'd
little
be like, I'm
couple.
not sweet. Don't tell everybody I'm sweet. So anyway, we got a little sidetracked. I'm gonna get back to this story with this lady. She told me stuff, like, when she came in, the 2 weeks before she came in, I had a scare in my right breast. So I had cancer in my left breast, but I had
Oh
a
no.
scare in my right breast. So the doctor said to me, right breast, 12 o'clock. He said, we need to get a biopsy. So we got a biopsy. It came back negative for everything. It was fine. And he was like, this is just an area that has a little bit more blood flow to it, and we just need to keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fine, and it's been fine ever since. There's nothing wrong. It's been fine. And I didn't tell anybody this except for my mom and my close people because it's not something significant. I didn't need to tell anybody, you know?
Right. Well, yeah.
So there's no way that she could know this is what I'm saying, what I'm about to say. So
Mm-hmm.
she says, she starts laughing. She's like, yesterday I was walking with some friends and we were walking our dogs in the woods, and we walked past this bush that had this bright neon purple berries all over it. And she said, something told me to go take a picture of this cluster of berries. And she ignored it and she kept walking. She was like, no, like, I'm going to keep walking. And then she was like, something stopped me dead in my tracks and said, turn around and go take a picture of those berries. And so she takes the picture. And then she says that she's like, this is why I had to take this picture yesterday. And she looked at me and she says, right breast, 12 o'clock. And I was like, what? And she says, and she pulls out the picture and she says, this is a cluster of neon purple berries. This is visualization for you to know what this cluster of cells looks like. She says, I don't feel sick, so I know it's not cancer, but it is something that you need to keep an eye on. And I'm like,
That is wild.
what the fuck? Are you kidding
That is
me right now?
crazy.
She also told me stuff about my health, like gluten stuff, like things that just confirmation stuff and all kinds of stuff. So then she said, I asked her, all I said to her was, tell me about me when I was 13. She grabbed my hand and she looked at me and she was like, you have no idea how protected you are. And then she says, you are divinely protected. And then it was like, wait, my tarot reading and how she was like, you're divinely protected. You're, yada, yada, yada. And she says, I saw it in the corner. I think she said, I saw it in the corner. And then she said, that's when she said, you are divinely protected. And she said, you have no idea about the good that you're going to do in this life and the good that you're going to do for people. She's like, you can't even fathom what you're going to do in your life. Like, you don't even know. You have no idea. And she's like, and that's basically what she said. But she said, I saw it in the corner, right? So then it's all over. Oh, also, at one point, she was doing Reiki on me in the middle of the salon on my throat chakra. And I'm like sitting on the floor in front of her. And this was a busy Saturday in the salon. And we're just like in our own little bubble.
I'm all envisioning this like no one else is there but y'all. So I'm glad you put that in
This
perspective.
is in the middle of a busy Saturday in a big salon with everybody walking around and doing shit. Blow dryers going, everything. Like having a whole spiritual time over here. So that night after her appointment with me and after all that stuff happened, I call my mom and my sister and I'm like, y'all won't believe this crazy experience that I had today. And I'm telling them all about it. My sister's very religious and she's like, that's the devil. You need to stay away from her.
Oh, geez.
You don't need to be talking to her. You don't need to have nothing to do with her. My sister's not about the false prophecy bullcrap and like manipulation of words and stuff like that. So she was like, that's not okay. And she's like, the devil is the master of disguise. You need to stay away from that. All this other stuff, right? And I'm like, all I can tell you is that this is my experience. This is what happened to me. The universe sent her to me. I didn't go looking for her. Like, this is just what happened.
Right, yeah.
And she was like, okay. Well, then another couple days go by. And my sister calls me frantically. And she's like, freaking out. And she's like, you got to see this picture. And I was like, what? And she was like, I was curious about this lady, so I went to her Facebook page to check her out. And she said, there's a picture of her where she took a selfie in your chair. And I was like, a lot of people do that. And she was like, no, but you need to see this picture. She said, I think I see Finch's face in her leg. And I was like, do what? And so I go and I look, and there's Finch's face vividly right in her leg. There's a green orb that has like two little whisker things coming off of it. And right above it is Finch's whole face. You can see his mouth, his nose, his eyes, and his ears.
Holy shit.
And the orb is right where his heart would be. And your heart chakra is green. So I have the picture right over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's on top of his urn now.
I love that you printed it.
I did. I had to.
That's so crazy.
And then I put that picture beside it for perspective, because it's like you can vividly see. It looks like this picture right here. Like,
I can tell. I can see like the outline of him. Did you get that off of a phone? Have you like adjusted it and like brightened it as far as you could and stuff like that?
you know what? I didn't do that before.
You should.
I really should. I still have I'll send you the picture because I have it in my favorite.
You should. You should do that.
I should do that and lighten it. Oh yeah, I should do that and try to play with that. I don't know why I never thought of that.
That's what I would do. I'd be like editing that shit until you get like the most crisp picture of his face.
Yeah, I need to do that.
That's wild.
And I called this lady back and I told her, and she was like, oh my God, that's him. That's him. That's him. That's who was there. And it's on the right side too. It's on her right side. And there's something about your left and right side, spiritually, like right side is male energy and left side is female energy.
Oh, okay.
And I've been in paranormal places and I'm like investigating or connecting with someone, I will get chills on my right or left side as confirmation to know if it's male or female.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then Finch is a boy, so
that makes sense.
And yeah, so I called her and I was like, look at this. He's right here. And she was like, yep, that's him. And then I had a question because I had time to process some stuff too of everything that happened. And I said, when you told me you saw it in the corner, what did you mean by that? Because I'm thinking she saw it in the corner. Like I saw her, the light, come on out of my peripheral in the right corner of the like upstairs, bedroom. So I don't know. That's what I thought that she meant, was she saw it. And then she was like, so she said, you had something so, it wasn't even, she said, it's not human. And it was encapsulating you with darkness, basically trying to attach itself to you. And it was a really dark, bad, negative energy. And she said, when I see those while I'm channeling, I stop automatically. And she was like, if I make eye contact with negative spirits or negative energy like that, it messes up the way that she channels. So she's
that
like,
makes sense.
I can't make eye contact with that stuff. And so when I saw it in the corner, I cut it off, right? So then I'm thinking about it and I'm remembering how dark it was. And I remember that I put my hand out like this. I could not even see my hand in front of me. And I just remember that surge of energy after she went in the bedroom and all the lights coming on. And so that's when I realized, like, holy crap, that was totally one of my guardian angels. Something negative, really dark, was trying to encapsulate itself on me, trying to attach itself to me. And she came in and drove out the darkness. And when she was going across the hallway, I mean, it felt like, I don't know about God or anything. I'm not a hugely religious person, but if that were something of God, then that would be it. Like
Mm-hmm.
the light that she illuminated off of herself was like so bright. Like in the Bible, it says, like no man is able to place their eyes upon the glory of God because it's too bright, it's too amazing. You can't even, our human eyes cannot even see that. And that's the kind of light that was coming off of her. And the whitest, clearest white light that I've ever experienced. And
Holy moly.
this is a big house, a big cabin, and the middle of the winter, really dark outside. And she lit up this entire place, like so bright that I was like, what? I can't even see. No. So then it was just another, it's like throughout my life, it took me until just a few years ago to have full closure on that situation.
That's
Also
insane.
found out that I remembered my mom took me to something at their house. It was like a spring, what is it called? It's a pagan thing, but they do the maypole spring equinox,
Uh-huh.
and then they have a fall harvest festival too, but it's very pagan
Yeah.
based. But you go out and you do the maypole and all of that, right? I didn't know what this was. I thought we were going to a barbecue and at somebody's house. So, but when we went to their house they had their house backed up to the Chattahoochee National Forest. So in their backyard was the forest, and they had trails through the woods. And then we went back there in this whole area that they had, and they had like a wooden altar back there, and they had a big maypole and stuff. And then I remembered in their hallway they had a big like cabinet entertainment stand that had cabinets that opened. And when I remember seeing inside that cabinet one time, and it was like an altar in there. So there was like a big book, there were daggers, candles, like pentagon or pentagram stuff. Like I didn't know what any of that was, but I just remembered seeing that in there. And my mom had told me that they were Wiccan.
So your mom didn't even know.
Then I'm like, holy shit. No wonder this lady was weird whenever I was asking her questions about it. No wonder
Mm-hmm.
she said the shit about I don't want to feed it any more energy, la da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
Because, bitch, you were doing witchcraft and you conjured up some terrible black magic shit, and then you subjected me to it.
Why, and her damn her late husband.
And him too. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? And then the way that she was like so religious and like so completely opposite of that.
Yeah.
And Wiccan,
It's like she tried to remove herself as far away from something like that as
but you're
possible.
still letting your other daughter move back into that house?
Maybe she doesn't like her daughter.
I mean, it seems because
She's like, this is my human sacrifice from before. She's just like, literally just like, fuck that
the
bitch.
crazier thing is that her daughters don't even freaking know this stuff, too.
The thing about it, wait, was only one of the daughters there that day, or were they both there? Because if I was the daughter that was about to move in that place, and I'm overhearing all this activity has gone on, I'm like, Mom, I think not. Like, I think we sell that house and I move
I
into a
think she
different
was
house.
low key upset with me a little because I even mentioned it in front of the other.
Her sister, yeah,
People.
because her
And
sister gonna call her sister and be like, "Hey, bitch,
she was like,
there's
Mom,
a ghost in that house you're about to move into."
didn't know about this. Like, what? Yeah. So it all came full circle when this lady sat in my chair, and then I had this other experience, and it's just like, well, that makes sense now. Like, it all makes
Yeah,
sense now.
that is
So
insane.
that was my very first paranormal experience that also carried on throughout my life until now.
But you'd never seen her again after that
Um,
point.
no,
Um, wow, that's so interesting.
but she's come up in things, you know what
Of course, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. I probably, if I was being attacked by a demonic force, she'd probably come in again.
Holy crap, that's crazy.
hmm
I'm surprised that you haven't seen her, like, even just urbexing or something if you're, like, in a weird place. And she's like, bitch, you need to get out of here.
Intuition is strong.
Yeah.
I have a very strong intuition about it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Shit, I think you have to if you want to be, like, safe and smart about exploring as possible.
yeah.
Especially if you're going to get into the paranormal realm of things. I don't even know how you do that. I get spooked out just doing regular urbexing, just trying to take pictures. I can't imagine like intentionally trying to communicate with stuff because I feel like I made a mistake.
Yeah. This one time, I was going to Goodwill here in my town that I live in, and on the way there, I was taking like a back road, and I saw a little blue abandoned house. And I went to Goodwill, and then I was coming back, and I was like, I'll stop by that when on my way back. And so it backs up to like a shopping center where there's like a Marshalls and a Dollar Tree and stuff like that. So I parked behind the Dollar Tree and walked up the hill to the house. Front door's wide open. I'm in there looking around. It looks like a hoarder lived there. Like, the way that it was trashed was like, this is years of somebody living like this. This didn't just happen because of squatters or, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just looking around, and then the next thing I know, I'm seeing like, also this is like at the golden hour when the sun is like starting to set and everything. So it was getting kind of dark, and there were paraphernalia everywhere, like needles everywhere in the house. And I didn't
Oh shit.
like the right shoes on and stuff. So I was like, huh. And then I got to the hallway, and there was a bedroom to the left right after you, like right when you get to the hallway, there's a bedroom to the left. I got to that hallway, and I got really spooked. And something just was like, you need to leave. You need to leave, leave, leave. Like, get out of here. And I was like, I'll come back later with somebody. I'll bring Roland with me or something like that, and we'll come back together during the day, And I did. So when we came back, we go into this bedroom, and on the bed, there's like this. There's like drawers that are flung out. There's stuff all over the bed, but there's like this spot on the bed that just looks not right. It looks weird. And we also found the person's ID. We found his, pictures, stuff like that. So I get on Facebook and I look for his name, and he's passed away. I think he passed away in 2022. And him and his brother lived in this house together. I think they had grandparents that were down the street, that lived down the street. So I get on his Facebook, and we have a mutual friend. And I'm like, oh, and then I click on mutual friends page, and there's like a picture of him and this person whose house it is.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, oh, he knows him. And so I reach out to him, and I'm like, hey, I know this might be weird. I haven't talked to you in a while. Hope everything's good. But can you tell me about this place? And he's like, what the fuck are you doing there? And I'm like, oh, I do urbex. I go to abandoned places. I explore. I put a tree behind them, yada, yada, yada. Like, do you know what happened there? Like, do you? And I'm like, no, that's why I'm calling you. Like, I was calling you because I see that y'all are mutual friends. I don't see I didn't find, why am I having a brain fart? The things after you'd pass away that they write.
Obituary.
I was like, I couldn't find an obituary for him or anything like that. And I was just curious about why his house is like this or whatever, or the story behind it. And he says, okay, He says, so he's a friend of mine from high school. His name is Zeke. And I call this Zeke's house. And so he was like, me and Zeke were really good friends. But at that time in my life when we were friends, we did a lot of drugs. And his house was like the hangout house where we would all go because there were no adults around, and we'd all go there and hang out and do drugs and whatever. And he was like, it's funny also because I sent him some pictures. He said, in the picture you sent me, there's an apples to apples game that's laying on the counter. He said, that's my apples to apples game that I left there years ago. Like,
That's crazy.
yeah. And so he's like, it's a really sad story. He said Zeke lost his brother to a car accident in like 2013.
Oh no.
And ever since then, he just was depressed, went downhill, battling with drugs, couldn't keep a job, stuff like that. And then at this time, he said that nobody had heard from Zeke in a couple weeks. And his aunt went to his house to check on him. And when she got there, he was dead in his bed in that bedroom. He had OD'd. And he had been left there. Like nobody found him for a while.
Oh shit.
Until she found him. So it was a pretty gross scene.
Oh.
And usually in cases like that, you have to hire somebody, or people will come in to get rid of the decomp, right?
Professionally, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was not the case here. It was left the way that it was.
Oh god.
So it was just really weird that I had that intuition feeling of like, you need
of getting out of there before you even went into the bedroom to begin
before
with.
I even,
yeah.
And then to find out all of that, I'm like, oh God, that's why.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And then to have like a connection in a way with that person, that's fucking weird.
It was weird, for sure.
But also, I mean, kudos to you for being a good investigator. Like, and that worked out in your favor so you can get some deets.
Yeah. I recorded our whole conversation. I haven't ever done anything with it, but I recorded the whole conversation with him and everything.
When you called him to ask about the guy. Oh my god, I just love his response talking about what the fuck
fuck are you doing in there? You know what happened there? No, that's why I'm calling you, bro.
Dang, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. So tell me about like the first time that you decided to go into a bando and really try to summon some sort of paranormal experience.
Well, the actual first bando that I ever did, like that I recorded, it's my very first little YouTube video. It's in
Shout out to Rose's YouTube.
my 300 followers.
Hey, that ain't bad.
So I actually haven't posted on my YouTube in 8 or 9 months.
Girl, what you doing?
I'm making better content. That's what I'm doing.
So you're taking your time.
So don't judge me when y'all go look, but still follow me. So the first one I actually did that I recorded was we went to Gatlinburg, and downtown Gatlinburg, where the Ripley's Aquarium. If you're standing in front of that and you look behind it into the mountains behind it, there's like foundation of something sticking out of the trees right there. And I was like, what is that? I need to know what that is. And I got online and I researched and I was trying to figure out how to get to it. And I found the coordinates for it and I go. And I didn't know anything about it at all until after. But it's a huge mansion that burned down from the fires in 2017.
Oh, crap.
All that's left is the basement and the like first level foundation and the pool area. But it's got an awesome view and it's beautiful little spot. Well, I find out after also while I was exploring that place, I was in the basement area and I kept smelling perfume for some weird reason. I was like,
Oh.
this is a dusty, grimy, gross basement. Like, there's no reason I should be smelling any kind of, and it was like a strong floral perfume that I kept smelling.
Oh my God, that's weird.
One little area. I don't know why, but I did. So, I didn't, that was the first place that I did. And Dex, he stayed in the car and I went in and looked around and hung out for a little bit and did a little video. And that's the very first place. And then afterwards I was looking it up, and you remember that Tammy Faye something scandal, whatever?
Mm-hmm.
That's whose house it was.
What? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So the designer, the architect of the house is one of the architects that helped design Graceland, or is it Grace, the Elvis Presley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's one of the architects that helped design this house. And this house apparently was like where celebrities would come when they got into shit to hide out. And even in the basement while I was exploring, there's a stairwell that leads to nowhere. And there's like there's supposed to be tunnels underneath the house and everything too. So, and
What the fuck? They had a whole weird ass operation going on.
weird walkway from where the pool is that goes straight down like this to the way bottom. And then there was like a bunch of overgrown stuff that it looked like maybe there could have been a doorway there or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. And I had no idea about any of that until after I had left and
Holy shit.
research on it. So I was like, damn it, that's a cool spot.
You're
I
like,
could have done this in the video.
you didn't even know who it belonged to.
No.
But that sucks that it burned down. Otherwise, obviously, you would have been able to piece like a little bit of information together, probably, if anything was left behind. But that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And that is also just such a weird couple for it to be attached to, because they have their own crazy story.
Yeah.
So, like, what the fuck?
I
That's
had
so
to
weird.
like research that too, because that's like before my time. My mom knew about that, but I didn't know anything about it.
I mean, I didn't know about it till whenever they did like a documentary about them, and that was just like a couple years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago. And I was like, I didn't even know all this shit happened. These people are out here being straight up psycho.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it did make me curious about what's left of, they had that property that was like a resort or whatever. And I think it's still standing, and they only use the bottom level, I think, for like events still. But I'm trying to get into the rest of it, because it's like a whole skyscraper building.
See, that's sketchy. That's sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
That's real sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
But
And they try to, I don't know, they really ripped people off.
yeah, they did. I think
Yeah.
the house originally was owned by somebody else who was like a million gazillionaire, and he had the house built for his wife.
Oh.
He got into a scandal of something of his own and sold the house to them. And so that's when they became the owners.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I found pictures of it, like when it was before it burned down, It was a really cool house.
Dang.
It was a really,
That's crazy.
and just
Holy.
the view from it is beautiful. So pretty.
I bet, up in the mountains and everything. That sucks. That sucks that it's gone.
Yeah.
That's like the Flintstone mansion, though. R.I.P.
I know.
That's so sad.
Such a sad.
It's like worse to me when they just like, burn down randomly than if a developer showed up with some bulldozers, because I'm like, at least whatever. Like, I don't like your purpose, but at least there is one. And now that it's burned down, you're just like, what in the world are you going to do with this?
Do you even know how it burned?
I still don't know. It happened the week of July 4th.
Do you think people were there fucking around?
That's my assumption.
Wow.
I don't know why any dumbass would go over there and start shooting off fireworks, because you're literally in the middle of a forest. So I'm like, the odds of you catching something on fire is pretty high out there.
Yeah.
Especially because you're not like it's not one of those bandos that's like in an open field. It has neighbors technically. They're just a little further away, but like,
And
damn.
isn't it like the son owns it, but he's in jail or something?
That's what I've heard, but then I think someone told me that there's an episode of Live PD out there somewhere where people get caught at night in the mansion, and apparently the guy, the mortician, his daughter is the one who shows up and talks to the cops. So I guess she lives close by, at least close by enough to be there, like on scene when she's called. So whether he's in jail or not, I don't even think matters, because I think that she's been nearby this whole time, and I think that just they don't care about it in itself.
I think something trauma related happened.
Yeah.
Or is the mom still is?
No, she died. I think I heard that she got like hit by a car.
And then that's when
And it was while the house, I think, was still like being built or something, maybe. Or maybe they had just newly been living there together, like as a family.
probably why she don't want to talk. That's
Maybe.
trauma.
Yeah.
If that's true, then that's the trauma.
Yeah, but you would think with her dad being such a public figure in the community, because he was like a really well-known mortician, and he like did a lot of stuff for charity and did a lot of stuff for people, like favors and waived fees and costs, and was like very much like that. So you would think that you would want to honor your dad if nothing else, you know, but I don't know. It's just like when I was there the first time before it burned down, there was only one specific place in the whole house that creeped me out. And it was this. Have you been there before at the Flintstones mansion? It was the upstairs portion where that like one bedroom went into a bathroom and then went into another bedroom.
The green bathroom, or isn't it like got a double?
Was it the green one? No, it was the other one.
Okay.
That had like the tub, not the sex tub. But it had like one of those like corner tubs more or less, and that had like the big window beside it, and you like walk through that bathroom and then it like went into another bedroom, but it was also connected to another bedroom. And it was just a weird layout, because you could tell the very back bedroom was probably like a little girl's room, because that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And then like the master bedroom was attached to that in this weird way. And I was like,
that is a little weird.
why would you need the master bedroom attached to your daughter's room?
Daughter's room.
And it's the only place where Meredith was with me, and I turned back and looked at her, and I was like, I don't even want to go in there. I didn't even go in that room. Yeah. And we left after that. I was like, I don't know what was in there.
But we don't need to go in there.
I don't want to know.
Wow.
Yeah.
You never know what could have happened.
Mm-mm. And, you know, sometimes you just feel like this energetic shift, and like whether it's a temperature change or something weird, like something happens to where like you could be having the best time. It could be your favorite bando. And I was so excited to go to the Flintstones mansion. I had seen thousands of videos of it. I was like so lit about going. So I was so excited the whole time. And I was glad that I went up there last.
Yeah.
Because if I would have went up there first, I would have probably never seen the whole thing, because I would have gotten the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
It was unsettling.
That's so crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like something really bad happened, though. Whether it be maybe just the trauma of losing their mom, or even if there's other weird stuff going on, something happened. For her to not give a fuck about it, she's probably glad that it's burned down. You know?
That's exactly what I thought. In a way, when the fire happened, I was like, it wouldn't surprise me if they did that themselves. And how is anyone going to prove who did it with all the teenagers and shit that go there? You know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I would not be surprised. And I'm sure they were tired of getting calls about it and everything else. Like, why not just burn it to the ground?
Mm-hmm.
And then it loses all its incentive. No one wants to go up there now. There ain't nothing left.
It would cost money. I mean, she's probably not going to get. Wait, did you say it is bulldozed or not? No, it's still.
Not when I went, but I went right after the fire. Like, smoke was still coming up from the ground when I went. So it was only like days later. But I don't know. That place, there's nothing that you can do with that. Like, they're going to have to tear the rest of it down, because there's only these stone structures left now. You know, it looks like Stonehenge out there.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Rest in peace, Flintstone.
I know. Yeah, sad.
Mm.
But I will say that's probably, that I can think of off the top of my head, the only time I've like felt really weird and unsettled in a bando while exploring so far. Like I know it'll
Only
happen again.
time? You've been to a lot of places.
I've been unsettled in a weird way.
To
Like
over
I
100
suddenly get
places.
paranoid. But there's specific types of like anxiety or feelings that you're getting. So like that was a very specific one where I knew that I wasn't threatened by someone or something actually being there. It was very energetic, like the shift. So I was like, we need to get the fuck out of here because I don't have any control over that.
Yeah.
Like I have more control over a person coming out at us than I do for whatever this entity like that I'm feeling is. And so that in that specific way, yeah, that's the only time. Now I have felt like paranoid all of a sudden in a bando, like, and I can just be having a great time, and then all of a sudden I feel like, ooh,
That's
mm,
too.
I feel like we need to get out of here because I feel like somebody might be on the way, or something random like that. Or you're being watched, or there's neighbors nearby. Like suddenly something just happens where you're really hyper aware of like the fact that you can be caught.
Like you never want to overstay your welcome. I have
Exactly.
time with that because I like to just.
Rose, you're one to talk. I swear to God, you are the only person I know so far that takes as long as you do.
No, I take so long. I take a long time. I look at everything.
I know.
Everything.
I know. Wait, you went to teacher's house, right?
Yes, and I didn't.
How in the fuck long did
I
you stay there? Because
didn't spend enough time there. Everybody.
I knew it. You could spend longer in there than you did at the clown house because there's way too much shit to go through.
Listen, I got sad because.
Was that when y'all were supposed to come to my house? Is that when y'all were at the teacher's house?
Weird day. To be honest, it was a weird day. It was a really weird day. I think that
Everyone's energy just didn't seem in the right place.
it was weird. And then Carrie got spooked because there's that field that's right there behind it, and there were people out, like you could hear in the distance somebody doing on a tractor or something. And then somebody said that they thought that if you're standing in the carport and you look straight ahead, there's like in the yard, there's like a canopy area walkway through with trees and like a little, I don't know, like a path, right?
Yeah.
Through the woods right there or whatever. And somebody said that they saw somebody standing there, like a real person.
Oh shit, no.
We took off I'm like in the middle of filming, just walked in the house pretty much, and then no, I was only in her bedroom. That's only where I made it to. That's where I went first. Was to her bedroom, and I was getting pictures of her vanity and the dress,
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, "We gotta go," and they're like, "Come now." So I had to run out of there.
What the hell?
I couldn't even close the sliding glass door because it got stuck. And then I was upset about that too because I was like, I don't like to leave places just wide. Like I won't lock them, but I don't want to leave the door open.
Of course, yeah.
But so we did a loop around, got in the car, drove a loop around or whatever, and came back. And then they parked in the front of the driveway and said, "Okay, Rose, you can go back in there." And I had to go back in by myself. And I didn't get to spend time because I felt like they were waiting on me. And I definitely the dollhouse upstairs. I was trying to get cool pictures of me. I got one cool picture where I'm sitting it looks like my arms and legs are coming out of the dollhouse.
I see, yeah.
And I really wanted to get just some more cool pictures and stuff, and I wanted to plunder through things more, and I didn't get to. But I'm just glad that I finally got to go because I've had that pin for a long, year, over a year. I think I've had that pin for two years or so.
Holy crap.
And
that was long overdue.
I've been able to go. And I'm like...
And then you got rushed in the process.
And then we went to that murder house afterwards. The one that you had your photo shoot at.
Oh, yeah. With the blood on the bed?
So, you want to talk about paranormal? Courtney,
Why'd y'all go there?
I don't know. That was just one of the options that kind of in the same area or something. So,
Yeah, I guess they're not that far from each other.
so we go to that house and we're spending time in there. We're looking around. I get out my spirit talker. I get out my EMF detector. I'm like, what happened here? And I posted a clip on my TikTok and my Instagram of us in there. We have the spirit talker on. You can hear like a little girl come through. And I'm like, that sounds like a little kid, like a little girl. And Dex says, what's your name? And she goes, Doris. I need to go look at that little video.
I'm so glad I went there
My
first before y'all did
detector
this.
would not stop going off. Like, so EMF is electromagnetic field. You use those when you're trying to find a high EMF in an area. If you live in a house that is like under power lines, stuff like that can affect you. Like your spirit, your energy can be affected by that from being in a high electromagnetic field. Sometimes your house will have a high EMF in certain places, and it's usually where the power sources are coming from, you know? Like if you turned the microwave on and you hold the EMF detector next to it, it's going to shoot straight up to red.
Right. Okay.
This is a lot of EMF coming out of this thing, right? If you're in an abandoned place that has no fucking power on, and there's no way, you're not under power lines, you're not around anything.
Yeah, my phone didn't even have signal there in that house.
Yeah. So like there's no possible way for your EMF detector to go all the way up to red. And especially up to red, if it's a spirit, then that means they're really strong spirit. Like they have a lot of energy that they can use to communicate and make things happen. So, and then you can ask yes or no questions. So like, and in my clip, in that clip that I posted, I have it sitting by itself on the bedside table that's in between the two beds. And it's going straight up to red. Just like straight up to red and like flashing at red. And I said, can you please step away from that for a moment? And it still goes off. And I said, step away from the EMF detector. And it stops. It goes all the way back down.
Oh my God.
And then I think I asked something else and then it started lighting up again. So like that's another way you can confirm like, am I communicating with something intelligent, or is this residual, or is this just energy
Something
from
random.
a power,
Yeah.
you know? So, but that house, something happened there big time.
See, and I like excused the blood in my head. I was like, but now what's weird though is that one room that's like the darkest room in the house because like the windows are not like whatever. I don't know if they're closed. I can't remember now. It's the one with a bookshelf
Okay.
and all the books everywhere. Justin and I used a light in that room, which is why you can see anything from those pictures. But before that, when we were like just wandering around the house and I was trying to like find somewhere to put my stuff down, we were figuring out what to do. I like got the eeriest. Ugh. And I just thought it was because it was dark, you know? So I was like, maybe it's because I can't see anything, you know? Like I legit couldn't see anything. Like I could tell there was an outline of a window there behind that TV, but I couldn't see anything. So it was just like weird how dark it was, you know, in spite of the fact that there was a window in that room. And usually I'm not a bitch who likes to use a flashlight, a flash, nothing. When I'm taking a picture, I want natural lighting, you know, and I'll like remove the contrast and brighten it or whatever if I need to. But I couldn't get shit in that room.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I think in that bathroom that goes from the bedroom with the double bed
Yeah.
has blood in it.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice that.
The recliner, that recliner that is, I don't know, it's in like that middle area where there's that mattress.
That mural.
You know where the mattress is on the floor? And there was like stuff painted on the wall or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like across from that, there's like
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
there's blood all in that recliner. And if you look to the side of the double bed or the twin bed that's on the right, if you look to the side of it, like between the bed and the wall, there's just like caked blood everywhere. Poured.
Holy shit. How did I not know that? I just saw like the little bit of blood on the sheets and I was like,
Because you were like, out of sight, out of mind. I'm not, let's take these pictures. Goodbye.
well, that, and I was just like, maybe it was like an old person situation, and like, there's 2 beds in here, so maybe like their caretaker slept next to them, and then something weird happened. Because that's the only blood I saw, so I was working with a little bit of blood. And then Justin was like, people always in the comments arguing with me about whether this is period blood or not. I was like, that now I can tell you that's not period blood. Like I can vouch that's not.
No.
Because it wouldn't.
There
like,
are
whoever said that was definitely a man.
Think if you took a knife and you stabbed something and then you pulled this way, or like you stabbed and like ripped through.
But did you try to research that house?
I can't find shit on it.
Me either. Oh my God. I was getting so frustrated. I was like, I'm gonna find something. I find out everything. I am the best at this. Like I'm sitting here hyping myself up before I even get started. Oh my God, 3.5 hours later, I haven't found fucking shit. Yeah. I have looked up the news. I've looked up everything. Property records. So many. I cannot find any. It's like this house doesn't even exist.
Exactly. It's weird.
It makes me more curious because I'm like, okay, so was someone important involved and then they just like erase the records completely and now we know nothing?
It's weird. When we got there and I'm like doing all this, Carrie has a good intuition and she knows when things could be haunted. And I think that she does have that part about her. Like, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't ever, she got emotional. Like, she's walking out of the bathroom and into that bedroom, and she's like got tears filling up in her eyes.
Oh no.
Had a weird day. It really was.
I swear everybody got unhinged at some point. And I was like, y'all, I love y'all, but I'm glad I'm not there.
Yeah, I think
I'm glad y'all were peaceful at my house for dinner and then saved all that crazy shit for later because I don't have time for it.
It was weird.
Next time, either I'm planning the whole thing or I'm not involved. You can come stay with me and then we'll just have like a weekend out of it, you and Dex. And we can go back and stay there for 6 hours if you want to.
We should spend the night there.
Oh, I've never done that before. That would actually be a place I would stay the night.
Yeah, it's like pristine. I wouldn't mind spending.
We have to get dropped off for sure. Could you imagine we look out of the window in the middle of the night and we see someone standing in that archway like we realize then it's been a ghost the whole time. It's that lady.
It's that lady. She's like,
she literally watching over her house. Ooh, I got goosebumps saying that. I shouldn't talk about that. That lady is like, I'm going to come haunt you. You come back in my house one more time.
We have to do that now.
I've been in there twice. She said 3rd time's a charm, bitch. I'm going to get haunted by old lady.
I went through my shit.
I know. She shouldn't have such a nice house.
That upstairs part is like that bedroom up there with the skylight and that bathroom is just dreamy.
Mm-hmm.
I love
and it looks like she built that like for her grandkids or something,
So pretty. And that
definitely like an attic converted to that though, it seems.
So
because it was hot up there. It was hot as shit up there.
I was sweating to death.
Yeah,
that was the other reason that I was like, I need to hurry up because
I'm a hyperventilate.
It was like a sauna.
It really is.
Um,
Uh,
you didn't get any weird vibes at the clown house?
I did initially when I got in because I had to crawl into the house.
Front door was locked.
It was locked. Every door was locked.
Shit.
And that's the second time I'd been out there. And it was locked up. The first time Meredith was with me and I was told that it was just going to be unlocked. So we were like not prepared for like jumping in the side and doing all that stuff. And Meredith is not as brave as me. She was like, I'm not throwing you in there. You better get in the car. We need to go home.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it.
'Cause that's
And then when it happened again, luckily I was out there with someone else and we went out there to explore. So I already knew like if all else fails, you're just going to have to like throw me in. And when I got in there, because there's just stuff everywhere. So I had to start actively like stepping on things like containers and brooms and all this shit. And then I had to find my way through the house to get to the closest door that wasn't the front door so people weren't just watching us, you know. So when I was walking through the house by myself and I was initially leaving that room that I went into and the kitchen was weird.
I sat in that kitchen for a while because I was trying to debunk this whole window situation, right? When we were there, it was raining too. So it was a little rainy and it was windy. So the blind in that window definitely clicks, like the wind blows it and it slams back and it makes a noise, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is not the same noise as the cabinet noise.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I found, like, I did every single little cabinet and I did like where I barely opened it and let it go to see if it would make. I found the cabinet that makes that noise. And so,
Oh, you did?
and so then I'm like standing in there, me and Dexter standing there, and the cabinet does the noise. And it's not the window because I was like really paying attention. It was from in front of us because we were standing there looking at the that old blow dryer and the
Mm-hmm.
iron and there's a sign that says something about like maybe they rented it out before or did something for like a vacation
Mm-hmm.
home or something because it was like rules of the house and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hear it and it's directly across from it, like right in front of us.
That's so weird. And that's where Carrie was standing too when she heard that. Because I pointed that out to her. Because I was like, it's weird that you said something right when she said something in that video. She was like, oh, look, there's this sweet little curling iron here. And she was like, he must have had a girlfriend. And then that cabinet goes, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, that's weird. So the fact that y'all were looking at the exact same stuff and then heard that sound, oh,
Yep. And then I caught
that makes.
pee in the house.
Where?
So we're doing a full-on paranormal. We spent like 6 or 8 hours in that house. Like we spent
Holy crap.
a whole day there, and so we're in the living room where the bed is and the little chairs and the bar and stuff, and we're in there, and we're asking questions and we're just talking, and then you can vividly hear, loud as day, a whisper that's like, "Hey." In my video.
Uh-uh.
And then Dexter, we're upstairs, and me and Chris, my back is turned towards the door, the sliding glass door that's upstairs, or the window up there that faces the lake.
Yes, yeah.
So my back is turned towards that. Chris is sitting on the floor in front of the chair, the 2 little chairs that are right there. And then to my side is her fiance, and Dexter is standing with his back facing the staircase. And he heard somebody yell from downstairs, "Hey, you," from downstairs.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Then, get this. This is the first time that I've ever used a Ouija board. Ever. And I've always liked Ouija boards and stuff, but there's something about, I'm like, I don't trust them or something. I just never played one.
Mm-hmm.
But I was with Chris and I trusted her. She's used one many times, and I just felt like if there's anybody that I'm going to do a Ouija board with, it's going to be her, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And so on my way there too, I kept feeling like whoever lived there had some kind of lung or stomach issues. I don't know why, but I did. And something maybe about cancer or something. I don't know. Then she tells me that she was having like stuff with her lungs. And she's like, I think whoever lived here had like lung issues or something like that. And I was like, huh. So we're using the Ouija board and we're asking questions. And I'm like, did you have cancer? Straight to yes. I'm like, are you moving this? Like my fingers were barely, and you can feel the force of energy moving it. It's not.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And I'm like, I never knew that this actually was a real thing that what? Like, and to feel it, like, she's like, are you moving it? I'm like, no, are you moving it? We asked so many questions. It was answering everything, going all around the board. Then I started asking about cancer. And I started asking about, like, are you okay where you're at? Or I asked something about, like, did you suffer? Like, did you do chemo? Did you suffer? How did you pass away? And it said, oh, he passed away in his sleep and it was cancer. And he didn't do chemo. Yeah, I found all of that out.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so, and then I also, his wife, Inez, is at the house with him too. They're both there.
That's the lady.
Yes. And we had our REM pod set up in different places. And like this one over here would go off and start buzzing and lighting up and going off. And then you'd walk close to it, and then this one over here would go off. And then you'd walk close to it, and then that one would go off. Like it.
Oh my God.
You know, and like clowns or jokesters, you know, stuff like that.
That's crazy.
And yeah, so the Ouija board, I started out of nowhere. Like I'm cool, I'm smiling, I'm focused, I'm chilling, I'm doing the Ouija, and then out of nowhere, after I asked about the cancer and chemo and stuff, and like how are you now, or like did you suffer with cancer, stuff like that, I started pouring tears out of nowhere.
Oh no.
Like I literally look up and I'm like, I feel like I'm about to cry. And before I could even finish saying that, I'm like pouring tears.
Holy crap.
Just like a sudden wave of this like heavy emotion coming over me. And it felt like whoever I was connecting with was related with me or something. Like they were using me as like to help me feel what they were feeling maybe when they had cancer or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because I've had cancer too and I've been through that, like it just felt so familiar and it felt like weird. And like start pouring tears out of nowhere.
That's insane.
And it was just a really weird, that was my first time and only time so far that I've ever used a Ouija board.
Really? That shocks me for some reason. I thought that you would have like pulled a Ouija board at least 4 or 5 different bands by now.
Nope. I'm not about like demonic black magic shit, you know, like, and really a Ouija board, that's
what
for that.
do you consider the difference though between that? Because I just look at that as like another tool for communicating with something like that, just like anything else that you're using. Like I don't attach necessarily such a dark meaning to it.
Well, I love New Orleans, right? And I go to New Orleans as much as I can. And there's a psychic medium that I connected with in New Orleans. And I asked her about a Ouija board, right? Like, why is there so much stuff around a Ouija board? Everybody's so freaked out about them, or like they think that they're so bad or whatever. And she was like, well, when it was originally made, it was made with black magic. And it doesn't matter so because I was even like, well, what if I made my own Ouija board? And she's like, that doesn't matter because it's still this, it's what it came from originally.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't matter. And that just leaves you subject to opening that doorway for negative things to happen. And
Mm-hmm.
she was also saying how, you know, you don't know exactly who you're really connecting with. And
That's true. Yeah.
sometimes it could be a disguise. So it could be something, and a lot of times negative, dark entities disguise themselves as children or stuff like that, where you feel like it's a child and an innocent kid that you're connecting with, and then you're like inviting that in. And so it's a manipulative way of communicating with the dead to me.
Mm-hmm. I see. That makes more sense. Okay.
Because you just don't know exactly, which I don't think you really know anyway, but like,
No, you never do, but I do understand that, like, I don't know, I guess it's an interesting divide to have, like, a device, to use, because at least then it's almost like you're putting a barrier between yourself and that energy, because it has to feed through this one thing first to even communicate with you, and that thing is not you.
you
When you're operating a Ouija board, it's your hands, your whole body's, like, hovering over it, you're, like, everything is controlled and manipulated and like very connected to your physical body. So I would feel like, yeah, no, I kind of get that.
as you touch that and you open that door, then you are you're giving permission basically for.
Yeah. And at least with like a device, you can cut that frequency off. Whereas like a Ouija board, how do you cut that off? You put the board away. That doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like that's there kind of in the physical sense
And
now.
I've heard like credible sources talk about Ouija boards and how, like, I've heard stories about how they had them as a child and they played with them and then they got rid of them and it came back and they threw it away and it came back. Like, yeah,
No.
that kind of stuff. And I'm like, so that makes me nervous.
So that's not a tool you like to use for that.
Not really. I'm not comfortable with it, at least,
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, I feel like I would be the same way just because it is kind of witchy, but not in the good way.
And to be like my first time using it and have that kind of experience where I physically felt feelings that were not mine,
Yeah.
that is creepy.
Especially in that place, because just the setting, to be in like the clown house doing a paranormal investigation is already,
But
it's a fitting aesthetic, I will say.
the entire time we were investigating, all of our devices were going off. We were getting intelligent responses. Found out that that was their vacation home, and they spent like they have their best memories there. Like, that's why they're still there. They have the option basically to pass on or whatever, but they choose to stay behind because they still have family that they're looking after. And they chose that place because it's just a place that they made a lot of really good memories there and they loved it. So there's nothing negative there.
Yeah. I definitely didn't feel like negative. It just felt, I think, a little spooky because there's clowns everywhere. And there's not really clowns everywhere. Like I was kind of shocked at the absence of clowns actually, because when you hear about the clown house, you just think you're going to walk into a circus display, but they were really just like isolated in one general area primarily. I mean, you could see like little touches of clown in certain spots, but it was really just that little like bar area.
A lot of stuff has been stolen.
I see. Well, and that was the other weird thing I was going to say, because we saw that video of Carrie there and those little music boxes that were the clowns started playing like on their own. When they were leaving, she said that her and whoever she was there with that first time, they were like standing by the door, and I guess they were trying to figure out like where to go next or something. And then like right before they left, one of those little clowns started playing music, and I would have been like, "Oh no, no."
I'm telling you. We have so Chris, since she's got all this crazy devices, all these devices that she uses to. She's got a motion sensor music box that is shaped like a coffin, and you just turn it on, and there's a little white light on it at the top, and the whole thing is that if something crosses its path in front of it, the music plays and the little light lights up.
Huh?
And it's like those old school little wind up things that's sitting on top, and it moves. And so that thing is crazy. She's got a yes no prism, which is this device that's like this, and on one side it lights up red and on one side it lights up green. So like when you ask yes or no questions, it'll light up red for no and yet green for yes.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
There are, in my footage of the clown house, the yes or no prism is sitting on the floor and we're not paying attention to it. And we're asking questions and stuff, and it's going off and turning green, and we don't even catch it because we're not paying attention to it.
Holy crap, no.
And so, yeah, it's crazy. And she's got the REM pods, she's got a spirit box, she's got all kinds of cool stuff that you can use to communicate.
That's
The
insane.
hospital was crazy last week. We went to the morgue in the Jones building.
Oh no. Not a morgue.
Yeah, and it's nighttime. And our REM pod was going off. And then she went over to the REM pod to adjust it. And when she did, she got freaked out and almost fell over. She was bent down, because it was on the ground. And she almost fell over because she jumps back because it sounded like somebody was walking up to her in front of her. Yeah. And Dex got really spooked earlier in the day that day. We were downstairs I was outside, but he was in the doorway. And I was trying to do an intro for my video. And I wanted him to kind of poke his head out of the door behind me. Kind of spooky, with his mask on. And so I was like, go stand in the doorway. And just like, whenever I say this, I want you to just kind of poke your head out and then come back in, And I got frustrated with him because I was like trying to film it, right? But I'm like, because I was like, you're being dramatic. But he got so freaked out because he heard footsteps coming at him from behind when he was just trying to poke his head. And he was at the door. And he's like, and then when that happened to Chris later in the night, he was like, that's exactly what happened to me. And then we're all leaving. Like, we're finished. We're done. We're leaving. We have to walk through this dark-ass hallway all the way back up to leave. Something is thrown at us on the floor. And we all stop because it sounds like something was hit the floor and slid.
Oh
So
no.
I'm standing there and I stop and I'm like looking at them and I look back and I was like, what the fuck? And then I walk back over and I'm looking at the ground. A tea light candle that had never even been burned. I took it. Dex didn't know that I took it. And then I showed it to him and he was like, you took that shit? Why? But it's like a tea light, a fresh tea light candle.
That is so weird. Why would that even
The
be there?
wick was bent down. It wasn't even put up to like be lit. Like it looked like a brand new one. And it wasn't there. It was right in the middle of where all four of us were walking. Like there's no way that we wouldn't have even stepped on it,
Yeah. That is so weird.
So it was really weird. Like, where did that come from?
And you never saw anything else?
No.
Uh-uh.
But it was like something was thrown on the floor and then it slid
Like I used Dex. Dex was like, "You took that shit." He's like, "Don't take no spooky shit home."
He's still, the Ouija board that I use at the clown house, he won't let me bring it in the house. It's in my car.
It's in your car.
He won't let me bring it in the house.
I'm surprised he didn't make you like leave it at work or some shit.
Nope. It's in my car still.
That's your Ouija board?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought that was at least like Chris's or something.
It's actually, if you go to Five Below, they have little Ouija boards for $5 and they're really cute. And
I think I've actually seen those, yeah. I think one year they had a glow in the dark one and I was kind of here for it.
Cool. I wish that one was. It's like purple and black.
I like how you said that's cool, but you'll probably never use the Ouija board again.
Look cool, but I can't.
Like, are you sure that Dex won't let you bring it into the house, or you might just not want to touch it again? So
Really won't let me bring it in. I told Chris the other day, I was like, he still won't let me bring that into the
you're gonna have to send that to her. So someone gets some use out of it. Otherwise, you'll be chilling in your car for God knows how long.
Maybe I'll use it again, but I don't know. It has to be like the right.
Maybe you'll get a wild hair up your ass when you're in a certain bando, and hopefully you have your car there with you. And you're like, I have the Ouija board.
And I won't use it with somebody who I don't like trust.
Let's go to the murder house and use the Ouija board.
Chris would love that.
I think we should do that and go sit on the bed where the blood is.
You really do? Are you willing to do this, Courtney? Do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth?
I feel like I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, and I'm gonna dissociate so hard the whole time we're there, so I can be successful at this. And y'all are gonna be like freaked out. And I'm just be like,
so have you done any paranormal investigating?
Never, no.
So what brought this upon you? Like what?
I've always been really interested in it. Like, I love ghost stories, and I love to, like, watch, like, anything really that has any type of shit to do with paranormal activity. Like, I will watch, like, documentaries on this stuff. Like, I'm just obsessed with it. I just watched one last night that I just got done with, and I was just, I don't know. It's so unexplainable, but so interesting, and everyone seems to have, like, so many different experiences with this kind of stuff. So I just wanted to like do something that's like this, but attach it to urbex too, or abandoned places, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I really wanted to find out more about the murder house, because I was hoping to do an episode on like an investigative episode where I'm just like, y'all, guess what the fuck I found out about this bitch?
Yeah.
You know, but I couldn't find anything, and that's so sad for me.
I definitely think people were murdered there, and I feel like a child was one of them, maybe more than.
And the records were clearly wiped clean, because that is just, I don't even know how it's possible to not find any kind of paper trail on a whole house.
And you think, well, did they ever even find these bodies, or are these bodies like, okay,
where would they be? Oh,
they survive, or are they buried in the backyard? Are they?
I didn't even go around the property.
You physically cannot see the house at all.
Mm-mm.
So overgrown around it.
Mm-hmm.
And all that's left
is
the old mailbox. But who knows? We don't know.
That's a good question.
Like, if it's something that happened like that, like there's blood everywhere, I would like to take a black light in there and see where.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Because I bet you, I mean, whoa. There's a lot of blood.
Between the two of us, we should be able to find something out.
And do another paranormal investigation, like you said. Ask some questions and get some answers.
Yeah.
Try and get some answers.
Yeah, we should. And maybe walk around the property.
Whatever's there is definitely willing to talk or willing to communicate, because
that's true, yeah.
all of our stuff was going off.
That's so crazy.
I think it said, I'll try and send you some clips of when we had the spirit box going, and this.
Yeah, that's so funny. You know, I already like detached from that place hard while we were taking those photos, because even with the blood there, I was like,
nope.
Justin wants me to hang off this mantle and shit. Like, I'm not gonna be thinking about no ghosts coming out of nowhere. I would never have been able to do any of that. I would have been like, Justin, we need to leave. In fact, we need a whole new place for this photo shoot because I cannot be in here.
So what does Justin think happened there?
I don't know. And he's like, I think I asked him if he looked it up, and I don't think that he even has bothered to do that.
He don't even care.
What's wrong with you boys? Like, I don't know. They see blood in a place and they're like, ooh, cool, blood.
Do it for the
and then that's it.
So silly.
And then they get into a debate about like whether it's period blood or not. And I'm like, that's the point.
That's
of this
thing to.
It's on 2 beds, so you're telling me that like they menstruated on one bed and they're like, oh, I'll just move to the other one. Like, what's wrong with you? And they also, I guess, decided to sit in their sink and bleed. Like, I don't know.
So weird. That is a very man thing to say.
I know, but I think that's their own way of dealing with it. You know, they have to blame women for everything.
We will come back and haunt all of you men.
Can you tell I'm a feminist? I'm just kidding. I'm just a lesbian. Is that the same?
Yes. That's very, very the same.
Well, we've already been talking for over 2 hours, Rose. How's that happened?
Because we love each other.
Well, you did provide some good, juicy, spooky tea, so.
Yay.
That's
Is
nice.
there anything else on there that you wanted to ask?
I just want to get into the last thing, which I thought would be like a fun way to tie in the element of ghosts, but not really. But I want you to tell me if there's a time that you've ever ghosted anyone or have been ghosted.
I've been on both sides. I'm guilty.
You have.
I've definitely ghosted people when I didn't know how to like communicate. Mm-hmm. And I've definitely been ghosted when I really cared about somebody. I think that it hurts either way.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I've learned it's like ghosting isn't usually about rejection to me. It's just like about avoidance. Like people disappear when they don't really have words or courage to face something honestly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now I just try to say what I mean, even if it's uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Or, stuff like that. I think that ghosting, it's not about rejection to me. It's about how people handle honesty. But closure is kindness, guys.
That's very true. But I think we've all been on both sides of the fence, you know, and I agree, because I used to be a huge avoidant person. So I've definitely probably ghosted more than I've been ghosted, but it's only taken me a few times to get ghosted before I was like, probably should learn how to just say what I'm feeling and not do that. So it doesn't happen to me like quite as often.
Yeah. Karma is a thing too.
Yeah. Karma's a tricky little bitch.
It is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I guess we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
We like to communicate our feelings like adults.
But it's taken a long time here.
That is true. How old are you, Rose?
37.
Are you really?
Well,
I guess that makes sense. I mean, you said you got cancer when you were 30, so I thought you were younger than me for some reason.
Everybody, they're like, you look so young.
You look so young, and you just remind me of this like sweet little girl. I think that's why.
Anytime I tell people how old I am, they're like, no, the fuck you're not. And I'm like, I really am.
You got that good gene pool.
To say, because I don't feel... I feel like 37 is old or something, but I don't feel like I'm 37. I don't feel like...
I remember growing up and thinking like 30s were old, you know, and now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, what the fuck was I talking about? I feel like I still have a whole lifetime to live.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't even grown up yet.
For real.
Like fully, you know, like I still have maturing to do and stuff.
That we're like still learning.
I don't think we're supposed to look back at any chapter of life and be like, that was excellent, perfect, and I was the smartest, most brilliant version of myself that I could have been.
If anybody's that, then they are delusional.
A narcissist.
They are delulu. Something's wrong with them. They don't have
Delulu.
accountability, that's for sure.
They're the ones that are ghosting people.
Yeah.
Sure.
Avoiding people.
Isn't it sad that I was such a hardcore avoidant that even when people talk shit about avoidance, a part of me still feels offended?
Oh, that stings.
A little bit, but at least I'm super self-aware and I've been in therapy for like 4 years, so we're good.
So proud of you.
That's what it took, though. And it took a hardcore therapist to be like, there's so much wrong with you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It is okay.
Here I was thinking I was golden.
Yeah.
And I had just self-healed all of my trauma. And my therapist was like, no, we're going all the way back to your childhood, starting over.
So, not to get off on a little rant or anything, but me turning 30 and then finding out about cancer. When I turned 30, before I knew about cancer, I had shit coming up that was from childhood, that like trauma related. I didn't know if it was real, if it was a dream. It felt real. I even smells, memories, dreams, all the things. And then I knew that I had a lump, but I didn't know what it was. And I went to the health department like 3 different times, months apart from each other, hands-on breast exams. And they were like, oh, it's just fibrous tissue, or oh, you have dense breasts, or oh, you need to lay off the caffeine. Like,
Oh, shit.
nobody was ever alarmed.
So they were like misdiagnosing you, basically.
Yeah, it had grown and it got bigger too. So like, by the time I was actually diagnosed, I could hold my arm up like this and you could see it like protruding out of the side of my boob. But I also knew I had like hormonal imbalances going on, like something was up. So I started going to a naturopathic doctor and I started seeing her religiously for months and months and months. And I would see her every week for a long time. And she is the one who said, you need to fight for your right as a woman and go get a biopsy. Because I think this is something more, you know? And when it comes to trauma healing and stuff like that, I think when you go through so much trauma as a child especially, and then you disassociate your whole life and you have those fight or flight things that come in, and then you pretty much put things so far back in your subconscious that you forget about them, but then throughout life it's going to come back. Like if you don't handle those things, they show up in other ways and they come back and you still have to handle them. And so she really helped me a lot with it wasn't like snap your fingers and quack like a duck. It was like a way deeper form of meditation so that I was able to tap back into my subconscious, and I had to physically put myself back in situations and be present in them while they happened.
Yeah.
And it was some of the hardest work that I've ever done in my whole life on myself. But the way that I am now because of it, I'm so, like, that is true healing. Like when you can talk about it, when you can be okay with things, when you can find forgiveness in things, when you can, and the forgiveness part is not even for anybody else, it's just for you. And so once I was able to be like, you know what? There's no telling what happened in that person's life to make them treat me the way that they taught me.
Right. And everything is usually a projection from someone else anyway.
Yeah. And once I was able to be like, you know, and the forgiveness is not saying that it's okay what happened or what they did or anything.
Yeah, but you're releasing the burden from yourself too.
Off of you.
Yeah.
I forgive you. I forgive me. And I'm letting go of this now. And now you're able to process it better. And she helped me. I don't have panic attacks anymore. Like, she gave me tools to counteract it and to help with Because your body, that's your body's way of protecting you.
And then you're storing stuff if you're, especially as a kid, you don't know sometimes that you're suppressing. You just think that you're like dealing in a way to keep everyone around you comfortable. You know, that's how you deal, I think, when you're not really like verbal about something that's happened. So
Yeah.
that causes a lot of suppressing. And then the more you do that, the more you're suppressing. So yeah, that's so true. And I've always agreed with that. Like, I think
That's why I feel like with cancer stuff, like
mhm,
we all hold trauma. I think cancer is very personal. It's very,
I agree.
very personal to the person. It doesn't matter even if it's the same cancer or not.
No, yeah, I totally agree.
But the way where we hold trauma in our bodies and how it can manifest into other things. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. That's why you should heal from within first.
Yeah, we have to. We have to
Yeah.
do that hard work.
That's probably why we're good explorers, though. You know, because we can get attached to these places, but not in a way that's like overwhelming for us. It doesn't take us over so completely. We can have the experience that we need to have and then know that there's that time and that place for it. And then that's that. You know, we might go home and do some research and dive into like a rabbit hole for 3 hours. We're going back to that house though, because now I need more details. And now
I need to go on a ghost hunt.
I really do.
Just
I feel like the paranormal world is just waiting for me.
It is. It's got its arms open. It's like, come to me.
Hopefully I'm divinely protected also, because I've been told that a few times in life, especially by my grandma, who I swear was like a witch that didn't want to admit it, you know, but like a good witch.
Wonder why she's resistant to it.
Which just makes me more convinced that they are just not willing to tell me some shit. And I'm like, I know it's because y'all know what I'll do with that, which is the things that y'all wouldn't do with it, you know, and that's probably scary to you. But to me, that's a whole interesting journey I want to take.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go make a voodoo doll out of nobody and like curse them. I would just be the most intuitive being that I could be. And at least it would always save my ass and I would never get in trouble.
Exactly. Oh, speaking of that, I went to Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
For my birthday?
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about this. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So, I met up with another YouTuber chick who I've followed forever. I'm telling you, I've manifested this. Talk about spiritual stuff. These are my two favorite YouTuber chicks who do paranormal stuff who I've been following for years. I love them to pieces. Chris and Lindsay. And they know each other. And so on my actual birthday, I got to meet Lindsay, and she lives in Vegas. And she picks me and Dexter up from our resort and takes us out into the desert and takes us to an abandoned casino.
Oh, I saw that.
Dude,
That was so cool.
this place is crazy. It's called...
Didn't y'all get caught?
Yes. It's my first time ever getting caught, too.
For real?
Don't jinx it. I'm knocking on wood. But
For real? You never gotten caught before that?
it's my first time ever getting caught.
Are you shitting?
No, okay. Yes. So we get there and idiots, I don't know where our brains were either, because we parked right in front on the property. When we could have just parked at the gas station across the street.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, and then we get out, we're walking around, we find the entrance, we go in. You have to walk down this long ass hallway that looks like The fucking Shining. It seems like it's a mile fucking long. And there's nothing but like room doors on each side of you. This place has over 1,200 rooms. And it's got a big giant roller coaster that goes all the way around it.
What the hell?
And even through it, like through part of it.
Why is this place closed?
I think it closed down in the 90s for a little bit. When it closed down then, I think late 90s, the roller coaster closed down too.
Okay.
At that point, this roller coaster was the fastest roller coaster in the world.
What?
Yeah, it's called
Oh my god.
the El Dorado or something like that.
Holy shit.
And so that closed down. The roller coaster closed down and it never reopened. So it's all just still there, but it never reopened. And there's one other ride too, some other kind of ride.
And it's just been sitting there since the 90s. Jesus.
But the resort and casino reopened, and then they closed again at COVID, and then they reopened again, and then they officially closed for good this time earlier in January this year.
Okay.
So they also have a sister property that's across the street that's also abandoned.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
That place is where the Bonnie and Clyde death car had. It's always been there, but they've moved it now because it's closed.
Okay.
That's where people would go to see that car. Anyway, so we make our way inside. We're going down the hallway. We finally walk out into the casino area, and all the machines are, but they have blue screens or like blank screens. And some of them, a lot of them are open. Like the machine at the bottom, the machine part is open, like they're being serviced, like worked on.
What the hell?
One of them had the whole little note card on it, like service this, whatever they fixed on it.
I see.
All of the TVs around the bar were on. If you look up in the ceiling, there was a whole track that went around the top with like mannequin dudes on, like with mining carts.
What the hell?
At one point, there was a huge and river thing that went straight through the casino and through
This is a crazy place.
the pool there is huge and it's shaped like a giant buffalo. Yeah, we were trying to find it. Anyway, we're walking around, we're looking around, we get in the kitchen, there was water running in the kitchen. It was just weird. And then I was like, okay, guys, I think we need to head out because I'm feeling a little sketch. Like, I feel like somebody's here, So we're going back down that long ass fucking hallway to go back out the same way that we came in. And Dex is walking in front of us. And then we hear like a room cart, like moving, like somebody pushing a room cart. And we're like, fuck. And then we tucked into one of the doors. And Dex looked around the corner and then he turns around and he goes, go, 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 go. So we like turn around and we have to run, but not run because we're not trying to make a whole bunch of noise, but we're like walking as fast as we can. And we're going down the hall. And then I look back. Dex is like feet behind me, just walking. He's barely even walking fast. And there's a whole dude pushing a cart behind him.
No.
I turn around, I keep walking. And then we get out, me and Lindsay get out of the door. We found a double doors. One was open. We get outside. And I literally had to hold the door open for Dexter. Stand there and hold the door open. Like, come on, Miss Daisy. Like, come on.
He's like, we done got God already. So.
He walks out and I was like, there's a dude right behind you. He was like, what? There was a guy behind me? As soon as he said that, the man pops his head out of the door and is like, hey, are y'all supposed to be here? And we look at him and we're like,
who was it?
It was a security guard.
Oh, fuck.
But I think it was this dude's first day on the job because...
Are y'all supposed to be here? Yes.
Like, we're lost. We're looking for a bathroom. He was like, well, you can't go out this way and the bathroom's over here. So he literally took us to the bathroom. We went in there and we pretended to use the bathroom really quick. And then we come back out and he's like, you have to exit out of these doors over here. And then he's telling us in the meantime, y'all should go next door to our sister property. That's where the Bonnie and Clyde car is. Y'all should, casino's open. And y'all should go over there. It's probably why you got turned around or something, And I'm thinking, yeah, you're right. We're going to go check it out.
He gave you your excuse.
And then we walk out the door and we're like, holy shit, what just happened? And then we're walking back to the car and out of these other double doors, this mean lady sticks her head out and she's like, y'all need to get off the property right now. This is private property. You're not allowed to be here. Metro's on their way. And we were like, we're just trying to get back to the car. We're leaving. And she's like, I don't care what you're doing. Get off the property. And I was like, let's just get out of here and go to the sidewalk. And we'll, at least that way we're off the property and make our way back around. We get back to the car. Dex dips off across the street and goes to the Chevron. Because he's like, if y'all get arrested, you need somebody to bail you out. And also, I'm black. I'm not getting arrested.
I love his logic.
So he goes across the street to the Chevron. We are walking up to the car. There's a security guard in a truck parked next to our car. He sees us walking up and he drives right over to the exit and closes the gate. Then we get in the car and we're starting to drive, and now we have a security guard in front of us and behind us.
Oh no.
The person in front of us yells at us and says, "Follow me." And so we're like, oh shit. And I'm looking at Lindsay and I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's my first time meeting you. And I take you urbexing and you get arrested. And I'm so sorry. And she was like,
you immediately start apologizing.
Oh, no. So sorry. And she was like, I thought this stuff happens all the time for y'all. And I was like, I've never been caught before. And she was
oh no.
She was what? I thought y'all get caught all the time. And I'm like, some might, but I haven't.
That's so funny. She's all just like chilling, thinking you're chilling, like this is an ordinary day.
Ticket and we'll be fine. Like, come on, this is stupid. And
yeah.
So then we're following the people, and they take us to another exit, and they pull over and they say, and then they let us out. Because I was like, I think this is a setup. I think they're locking us in here, and the police are on their way. Mm-hmm. But then they drove us to a different exit. And we got out, and we went straight across.
Listen, at least you got the one time that you're going to get, the first time that you're going to get caught out of the way. And at least it was in Vegas, and at least it was at a place that makes it worth it.
Yeah.
And it's not just like some shitty bando.
Spot. I'm not going to lie. Like, that was
that sounds pretty cool. And I would have gladly gotten, like, in trouble for a second over it, for sure. Because there's bandos that I've just been like, this isn't worth the trouble.
No, it's not.
That's like this cop that Carrie and I ran into not long ago at a bando. We hadn't even made it into the bando yet. We were just trying to figure out where to park, and it turns out the parking is like on a different side, and we were at the front of the house, and it's overgrown, so we can't see a driveway. So we're just like trying to really figure it out for a second. And of course, right when we're parked there, this cop comes rolling up right behind Carrie's car, and I'm like, really? This is our first place we stop at today, and we're not doing anything. Why is he stopping? So Carrie gets out of the car, and she goes back there and talks to him for a second, and then she gets back in the car, and then all of a sudden he's backing out, and then he like backs out and faces the opposite way that we were facing, and then just stops for a second. And I'm just like, what is he doing? And then Carrie backs out, and she gets behind him, and then we start following the cop, and I'm like, where are we going? And she was like, he told me that the driveway for this house is on the other side. But I was like, is he coming with us? And she was like, I think he's just telling us where it is. Nope, sure as shit. He drives all the way down this long ass driveway. And he's like telling us where to be careful because there was like some weird
chauffeuring you.
And then he waited outside the entire time we were inside. And by the time we got outside, some other trooper showed up and was with him. And they were just having a damn conversation. And then when we came out, he was like, yeah, this couple that used to live here. He starts telling us all about the house. And then he was like, do you know where Pineview Road is? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, there was like a time cap over there from like the 1960s. I was like, first off, how do you know what a time cap is? Like, what's up? So Carrie and I were immediately on our map, like trying to scout this house down. We think it got torn down because we didn't end up finding it after all. But just the fact that he said that, I was like,
that's awesome.
This is the best cop experience we could have right now, because I definitely thought he was going to be like, y'all can't be here, you need to leave, you know. And he like escorts us to the house, waits for us while we're exploring it, and then tries to tell us where another bando is that he calls a time cap. And I was like,
what, bruh?
I was like, and you know, his friend was probably sitting there like, man, shut the fuck up and stop talking to these damn people.
They probably go urbexing on their free time or like on their.
This dude, definitely. His other friend, cop friend, not so much. I think he was getting irritated. You could tell the guy who was talking to us and being like super informative and friendly, like he just needed to have a good conversation with someone. And he was so thrilled that Carrie and I were like entertaining him. And I'm like, I will entertain you until the cows come home, as long as you're not putting handcuffs on me and taking me anywhere or giving me a charge. I'll be good. I'll be your friend. Especially if you're going to provide me details on a time cap. Like, what? How do you know? I was so shook.
There's this dude on TikTok. He might have Instagram too, but his name is Abandoned Operator. And he has a whole crew of friends who are all like cops or ex-cops. And they all have like squad cars. And they go urbexing in their squad cars.
Oh my God, I need to be friends with them.
He's invited me before.
You can go into any bando you want to.
Yeah, it's like, and then you have like people, if they see a cop car there, then they think that it's a cop that's there. Like,
and they're not going to fuck with you.
No. Like, I'm like, you have a sweet situation over there.
I need to make friends with a cop.
Abandoned Operator.
Actually, I'm going to look up on like the police department's website and see if I can find that cop that was talking to Carrie and I, and then I'm going to find him on Facebook and be like, hey, bro.
Did you get his name?
No.
Damn.
But I could recognize him.
Yeah.
So if there's like pictures anywhere or something and they have their names, I'll find them. And then I'm going to be like, hey, dude, so do you want to go urbexing?
You want to go find a time cap?
You going to tell me where that time cap was you were talking about? Could you imagine? That would be so great. That would be like the best friendship to have as an explorer, is to have a cop friend. Be like, hey, when you're not on duty, can I borrow your car to drive out to bandos? Because
there were those urbexers. They were up north and they were in an abandoned school, and they found, or there was some kind of paranormal experience that they were having. They called the cops, and the cops go in, and the cops run out because then they had paranormal experience.
Oh no.
Yeah, the cops were like, God, we're never going in here ever again. Because they had to go in and check out to see if it was anybody real, like
a person.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly what it was that happened, but those two kids had to call the police. Whatever it was, they called the police. Police came. They had to go in and check it out, and then they
ran out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Damn, that's serious. Got the cops running out.
Like, what school is that? We need to go.
Don't go there getting any ideas. You're like, let's spend the night there with the Ouija board. Hell no.
So there's a huge church in Columbia that is abandoned.
For real?
Downtown, that I think the basement is flooded.
Oh, is it on Main Street?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's nearby where they were demolishing some buildings and stuff.
To Bull Street, probably.
I went to look at the Babcock building and that. So it's like kind of in that area somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like between Bull Street and Main Street. I think I know what church you're talking about.
It's huge.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was abandoned, I don't think. There's also a huge tower building that's abandoned that used to be condos, but apparently all the crackheads are there or something. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to go as a group.
Yeah, but I still want to go.
Yeah. I do.
Just because it looks cool,
Mm-hmm. All right. I love you.
Okay, I love you too.
It's been fun. It's been real fun.
It has. I appreciate you.
I love you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
That was Rose Urbex, a true explorer of both forgotten places and the unseen. I'm so glad her story finally has its own home here on Beyond the Abandoned and on Echoes of Elsewhere. If you've been around since the early days, I hope you enjoyed hearing this story reimagined, and if you're new here, welcome. You picked a good episode to start with. You can find Rose at Rose_Urbex on social media. As always, her information will be linked in the description along with the podcasts, which you can find at Urbex Echoes on social media and at Echoes of Elsewhere on Facebook. And before I wrap this up, some really exciting news. Echoes of Elsewhere was recently featured in the Post and Courier. The article came out today, and I was really excited when I found out that it was published this morning. So if you would like to read it, feel free to do so. It will be linked in the description. And yeah, I just wanted to take a little moment to celebrate that accomplishment for the podcast. It just means so much to see this little corner of curiosity and decay reaching even more listeners. So shout out to all you guys for being here and for your support. Obviously, I would be able to accomplish none of this without you guys. So thank you to my listeners and to my followers. I appreciate all of you so very much. I will be back in 2 weeks with a regular episode of Echoes of Elsewhere where I will be interviewing a very special guest. So be sure you're following me on social media to keep up with the podcast schedule where I'll be announcing the upcoming episodes and, of course, for more Urbex content and everything we love about urban exploring. Anyways, like I said, I will be back in 2 weeks. Until then, keep exploring the allure and the abandoned, the beauty of decay, and the echoes of elsewhere.